The Instinct 3 just dropped on Garmin's website today, January 6th, and I definitely didn't see this coming. Garmin is completely set to AMOLED all the things, and yes, that's an AMOLED Instinct model that you're looking at right now. Purists, don't worry, yet there's still a grayscale MIP option as well. Aside from that huge surprise in the display, there are two real, what I feel are disappointments with this launch as well, and I'll cover those in just a minute too. But first, let's take a quick stroll down memory lane back to this video where I covered a leaked image and quite a few people called it a fake. I looked through all the details, I thought it looked legitimate, I stuck to my guns, and hey, would you look at that. And we could also fast forward a bit to this video where I stated the Instinct 3 would be launched the second week of January. And let's see, it says it's available to order January 10th. Look at that. All right, enough back padding. Feels good to be right, particularly when I'm no insider. I'm just a guy that spends too much time online, and I share things with all of y'all when I think they're worth knowing. So if you want to stay on top of Garmin and other wearable news and rumors and just general cool fitness info, then be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Oh, here's two more I'll throw in. Well, neither exactly late breaking news. Tactics 8 due out very soon, and the new Forerunners will be out in roughly 2 months' time from now. Okay, so let's take a look at the Instinct 3 because this is not at all what I thought it was going to be. First, huge change is that this thing is now AMOLED apparently. So, wow. I kind of get the Forerunners and even the Phoenix getting AMOLED because they were colored MIP screens. I kind of felt like it was a natural step forward for those models to enhance the display. I always associated the Instinct with the grayscale MIP display. It was ingrained in the identity of the model, I mean, at least in my mind. Now, I know that display is still available, but if I was a gambling man, I'd say Garmin will be putting focus on the development of the more expensive AMOLED model. You know, you have a higher res screen, you could just fit more on that screen. It makes sense. The Instinct 3 gets a slew of software upgrades that brings it basically up to par with some of the other modern offerings. And those software upgrades are SatIQ, Hill Score, Endurance Score, Training Load Focus, Training Load Ratio, Triathlon Auto Transition, Nap Detection, Sleep Coach, Garmin Share, Garmin Messenger, Garmin Pay, which is previously only on solar models, Muscle Map for strength training, which is only on the AMOLED model, and Strength Workout Animations, also only on the AMOLED model. Now for hardware updates, we are getting dual band GPS, which is previously only on the 2X model. Flashlight on all sizes, again previously only on the 2X model. Solar power generation has been increased by 5 times apparently, and the bezel has been reinforced, so that's something. Pricing on the Instinct 3 is as follows: $449 US for standard AMOLED, which is 45 millimeters still, $499 for the larger size, 50 millimeters, $399 for the standard MIP and solar. There's no more just MIP, it's all MIP and solar. $399 for standard size, $449 for the larger size on that. And a lot of that above information is from DC Rainmaker's site, so shout out to Ray. And hey Garmin, if you ever want to send me any infographics, please feel free. I know you guys don't want to send me any watches apparently, but hey, send me a JPEG if you want to. Oh, and if you're looking for a 40 millimeter offering, that is now only found on the Instinct E, which looks pretty budget. Seems to be missing a lot, kind of similar to the Phoenix E. It doesn't look like it's worth a buy. It looks like an Instinct 2 on sale would be a better deal, but that may require a closer look. And I've also seen that Garmin spec sheet may not be accurate right when a watch launches. I remember that with the Phoenix 8, but like as of right now, it shows that the Instinct E doesn't have Garmin Pay. There's just like some weird stuff missing, but anyways, doesn't look great. Okay, now let's talk about an interesting decision here. The new big, beautiful AMOLED screen. It is not a touch screen. I think pretty much every Garmin user loves the ability to control their watch via just buttons when they need to, but I mean, touchscreens are pretty much expected now, and to have a new offering that has no touchscreen seems a bit off to me. I get having some UI consistency for the Instinct lineup because of course the 176 by 176 grayscale MIP screen is not going to be touch, but it just seems like an odd combination to have a large, high-res AMOLED screen that isn't touch enabled. But what do you think? Am I off on this one? But quirks aside, let's talk about the two big missing features with the Instinct 3, at least in my point of view. So the first one is the sensor used in the Instinct 3. The sensor used is the Elevate 4 sensor. That's right, that's not a mistake there. the Elevate 4 sensor that came out in 2021 on the Venue 2 and the Forerunner 945. Yep, that's the one. Now, it's still a fine and accurate sensor. I've got one right here on my Epix 2, but the Elevate Gen 5 has been out for over a year now, and it means that the Instinct 3 will not be getting ECG or skin temperature, which debuted on the Elevate 5 sensor. Now, the other big missing feature, well, that would be maps. That's right, the rugged, outdoor, new offering from Garmin does not have maps. No maps to be found anywhere on this watch. You're still using the same navigation present on the Instinct 2, which is to say breadcrumb trails. Now, I saw some comments on my recent video saying, hey, maps would be such a great feature for this watch, and while I definitely agreed with that person, I couldn't see how you would interact with a map on a tiny grayscale screen. But hey, the Instinct 3 has a much larger screen with a higher resolution and an AMOLED and bright colors, but still no maps. Now, other brands are offering maps at this price point. Amazfit, Polar, Coros, Apple, Samsung, Google, they all have maps around this price point. So let's talk about why I think Garmin did not include them. So my thoughts on this, and it probably ties into my recent video I just made on Beginner's Guide to Garmin. There's just so many models, they have almost like model clutter. But basically, if they offered maps on this rugged, outdoor focused watch with a touchscreen and an AMOLED screen, and they offered all that for around $500, then who is going to be paying up for a Fenix 8 at $1,100 at that point? You're more than doubling the price of the watch for titanium bezels, scuba rating, and a mic and a speaker. The value proposition on that watch just completely drops, in my opinion. Now, here's another thing that bothers me on this. The Gen 4 Elevate just doesn't add up to me. You may think, hey, they're doing the same thing that you just said with the maps. They're doing that with the Gen 5 sensor. They're keeping it for only certain more premium models, but I mean, come on, the Venue 3 has an Elevate Gen 5 sensor. That watch is priced right around the same as the Instinct 3, so I just don't buy that answer. So here's what I think could happen. So remember that the Instinct is a watch that famously has roughly 2 million model variations. There's the Surf Edition, the Diesel Edition, the Accounting Edition, the Esports Edition, the Tactical Edition. I think Garmin may be leaving the door open for a higher end Instinct 3 to come out in a year or so, outfitted with the Gen 5, or maybe by that point the Gen 6 sensor, possibly even with maps included. Okay, maps might be a little far-fetched for the Instinct series, but I think in the same way that the Instinct 2X had quite a few features that no other model had, that they'll look to have kind of like a half-gen update that fills in some of the gaps on this model, kind of like the Epix Gen 2, Epix Pro, Fenix 7, Fenix 7 Pro. So what do you think? If you have an Instinct 2, is this the upgrade that you're looking for? Will you be getting one of these? And hey, here's a real question. I'd love feedback on this, please. Are you interested in seeing a review on one of these? I'm at a point with this channel where I can't pick up every new model that launches for reviews, paying out of my own pocket. The math just doesn't math on that. I'm definitely looking to get a new Forerunner when they drop, but I'm unsure on this one, so let me know in the comments if you'd want a review. Hey, thanks so much for hanging with me today. As always, I'm Dave, and this is Dave Does Fitness. Have an awesome day and stay fit.